Hi, my name is Nafia Tai. I am the Psych ENL teacher here at Brentwood High School.
My name is Renata Hewlett. I am an ENL teacher and I teach integrated ENL ELA class to SIFE.
In the standalone class, there are 4 centers. The rationale behind having centers for students is that they have differentiated instruction at each center. In the first center, the students come to GRW Center, which is the guided reading center, where the students have some support from the teacher. The next center that they go to is the writing center, where they can write about topics, about pictures. In the foundational center, the students learn power words. In the independent reading center, the students are reading text at their own reading level that is interesting to them.
The level of central texts in integrated ENL ELA class are higher than students' proficiency level. So in order for them to understand what they're reading, we have a lot of scaffolding.
Students are very comfortable writing their answers. They are very uncomfortable speaking. So we have decided, we made it focus this year, to have them always retell before they write.
Okay, is this the book that we were reading?
Yeah.
So
Today we are going to learn more about a book that my students have been reading at their own level. With the thinking map that they have, they're going to produce writing. Okay, I'm going to read it and then say it in my native language. What's my native language? Turkish. Okay, ready? The river runs into the ocean. Now the water is in the ocean. Bu nehir göle doğru gidiyor. Göle doğru gidiyor çünkü... It is important to use home language when you're learning a new language because you can think abstractly in your home language that you might not be able to transfer it over to a new language because they can problem solve in home language.
We do all things with water.
To cuadros. Esta agua no está limpia y no está buena para tomar.
We're learning about here. Water. Can you write that in the middle? Water. And I'm going to write types. So can you continue doing that? Create the categories for me on your map.
4 categories: use, types, need,
Problems. We use cluster maps because it is a visual that students can easily see their thoughts organized on paper, which gives them the main idea and details. Okay, identify, okay, details. I use a map to identify details. Great, great word. And I also use this to organize my thoughts, okay? Because I know a lot about water, but let me see if I can organize the information that's in my brain onto paper, right? And then this could help me maybe to write, okay? And that's what we're going to do now. We are going to use this map to write about it, okay? Give me an example.
The animal need water.
Okay,
The people need water to live.
okay.
the animal need water
To
drink.
To drink. Okay, great. So for example, Jonathan, students get practice saying it before they transfer to writing. All right, so I'm going to give you the words and you're going to go to the next center, okay, guys? In the standalone class, we use a lot of resources that help students with writing. The concept maps, the graphic organizers, the thinking maps, the language tents, the vocabulary, the categorizing.
All people use water. All people.
Todos.
All people use water.
What surprised me the most was my students were in charge. They were negotiating details on their own. My students are really taking charge and they're becoming independent learners.
This lesson will focus on some transferable skills. Today we will be focusing on annotating text and trying to find facts in a text that we can retell of how people get water and what problems with the water are in the places where they live.
¿Por qué la persona? El agua limpia es esencial para toda la persona.
Okay, so why is clean water essential for all people? However, this week we said our focus is how do people get and use water. What does that mean? So please take your text out. So it's overwhelming for these students to be able to find information in text and understand what is important and what's not. We are focused. We are focused on essential question for the unit or even just a weekly set. Agua corriente. Okay. So there is no running water, no agua corriente in the village. So Barfimo and her sisters must collect their water from a spring. There is no running water. What is that? How to get, use, or a problem? Problem, that's right. There is no running water. Okay, so this is a problem. We use a lot of language tense. We use prompts, sentence starters, thinking maps. We use glossaries translated in the native language. Sometimes with the pictures, sometimes just translations.
When she get home from school, Mama play with careful.
Right.
So take the test and find the word.
All recipientes vaya que está.
Use water and cooking, the cleaning, and the laundry.
Okay, beautiful. So cooking, cleaning, and laundry is how she uses water, use of water. Excellent. Cooking, cleaning. I love using general specific map because it categorizes information. It's not just like a brainstorming concept map where you have a circle and then everything is spread out and you can't make sense of all this information. You just have it scattered around. Where do we write that? Does it go here or here? How does she get water? In buckets, right? With what you wrote, practice to say it to your partner. Barfimo gets water from the spring. Very nice. She uses water to...
Water problem is that
Not running water.
Students say sentences before writing in order to help them process their thinking. When they speak with their partner, it is their own peer who has similar language proficiency, so they don't feel intimidated by speaking, taking that risk. And we always provide either sentence prompts or sentence starters so they can fall back on that as a scaffolding. And then let's just write the same sentences. Whatever you just said to your partner, write it down. For example, I wrote a sentence, Barfimo gets water from the spring. That's what I will write. Wash Eric, you want to share one?
Bahame get water from a tap and the bucket and the spring.
Oh, excellent. Gets water
atop,
from atop, and so I have how she gets water, I have how she uses water, and I have the problem, a water problem. I really liked the way you worked with your partners. I liked how you used Spanish to explain to each other. I really liked you were using annotation of all the words that we had in glossary. So through this course, I have learned how to teach students to read text that's more difficult, how to understand what you're reading by finding context clues. It has taught me how to teach them vocabulary so they can remember it and transfer it. It has taught me how to teach them metacognitive thinking about academic learning, because the bottom line is teaching this integrated ENL ELA course is teaching transferable skills to students so they can apply it to every content area they can go to.
Having all these visuals, support, frames, and giving students opportunities to discuss information in pairs is just a crucial step of learning a new language and learning content information that might be new to them. As a second language learner and an immigrant who came to this country at 11 years old, the girl that was in the back of the classroom that did not speak much because she didn't have any tools or visuals, I would like to say that I'm making it happen for my students.
As an immigrant myself, and as well as second language learner, I find it extremely helpful to be a teacher to SIFE.
Because I knew so much, I just didn't have the skills to say it to my teacher, but I had a lot to bring to the table. So I know to give those opportunities to my students and to open the door to expand their knowledge. It's not a block on the way, it's actually a bridge to success.